Hello my dear friends and welcome into my February favorites. And today we are going to talk about TV shows, YouTube, music, events and other stuff. Around the beginning of February I just rewatched all of Hannibal. And oh my god, it just keeps getting better. I've been following Hannibal since only season 1 was out. There are 3 seasons out. Right now it is in a sort of long hiatus because right now I think everyone wants to keep doing Hannibal. Especially Will. Right now everyone wants to keep on doing Hannibal, but I think the problem is money and time, so it might happen. There are rumors about maybe being a mini-series of Hannibal. But anyway, right now we have 3 seasons out, with 13 episodes in each season, I believe. And it is such a good show. It is very gory, quite scary at some points. I mean, it is a show where the main character is a cannibal. So, you could have guessed that it was going to be gory. But it is just so well made. How can I describe Hannibal? The photography is stunning. If you are interested in filmmaking at all, this will just fill your senses and completely fulfill you. Every transition is remarkable, to the point that you could almost consider it as a bit over the top and a bit, I don't know, maybe patronizing. But the truth is, it's just so beautiful. Plus, once you get into the whole gory thing, like every transition you expect something gory. Sometimes you'll see a very interesting transition and it just zooms out and zooms out and zooms out and oh, that's a body right here rotting in the sun, tied to a tree with like bees in his skull. So it's a fucked up show, okay? And other times you'll be like, oh, a transition again, it's gonna be gory, it's gonna be weird, and no, it's just tea leaves floating in the water. Anyway, the transitions are really good. Everything about this show is amazing. Season 1 is the most straightforward, so you can really follow the story, but from season 2, and season 3 is the worst, it gets really metaphorical, because this show is a giant metaphor. Every single thing, every piece of dialogue, every shot, it is all in metaphors. That's why you can watch it and rewatch it as many times as you want, because you always find other layers to peel, and oh my god, it is amazing. Once again, it is gory, so if you don't like blood, probably not for you. But I mean, I was talking about it the other day with my friends, and I said, no, but like, the bloody parts aren't the most gory. The most gory are actually kind of rotting bodies, which I'm trying to make you watch Hannibal and I'm just using the worst arguments here. Some parts are really gory, so if you want to watch it and just hide the screen when gory things happen, probably best. My friend Emily, who's a massive Hufflepuff and just doesn't like gore at all, watched the entire show in less than a week because she really got hooked. So you should watch it, even if you have to hide the screen every once in a while. I won't shame you. I get excited about Hannibal. The problem is I talked about it for ages and now I gotta move on to other things. During February I also marathon Lovesick. I can never pronounce this sentence! It's a Netflix show. I think there are 2 seasons out so far. It's about this guy who discovers he's got an STI. Nice. So he decides to pay a visit to every one of his former lovers to have a chat with them and explain what happened. And basically the entire show is flashbacks in the wrong order of his past relationships. And it is fascinating as someone who loves people, and I love imagining just everyone's life and how, you know, everyone meeting just forms a sort of web. And this series is really about that. It's about how intricate everyone's meetings are. And I love this. One good thing, the way the meetings are not in the right order makes it a really interesting way to tell the story. However, one negative point, it is very heterosexual. I know some people are heterosexual and some people do have relationship with just one gender, but I think, you know, it was a good opportunity for a show talking about all the relationships that this guy is having. Maybe just slip in a guy among all the girls. That would have been fun, I think. I don't think we really have any queer character in this show, unless I'm wrong, because I watched it a month ago. Like, all the main characters are heterosexuals. And you know, for a show that's really centered around sex, they could have included a few queer characters. I would have preferred that. That would have made the show even better. But it's still a good show, though. Around the beginning of February, I rewatched, I think, my favourite French web series. I'm gonna do a full video on cool French channels that you can watch, but just quickly, this web series has English subtitles on each episode, so you can totally watch it. It has 3 seasons. The first one is called Je jamais su dire non, I never could say no. The second one, if I'm not wrong, is La théorie des balls, so balls theory. Yeah. And the third one is Le secret des balls, so the balls secrets. Yeah, you can already tell it's going to have a very high type of humor. It's made by a bunch of very talented French people. Like most web series, I think, the first season is kind of homemade. It doesn't have the highest quality production, but they're still good because they know what they're doing with the camera and they can act, and the characters are just really good. The first season begins with the main character's girlfriend breaking up with him and his best friend coming around and just crashing the flat. And then the best friend tries to teach the main character how to say no because he can't say no. And that's how he ends up in really weird or bad situations, such as being broken up with. I have a little spoiler for you about this show, which should make you want to watch it. It's gay. Yeah. It's still an awesome show, and you should at least watch the first episode because in the first season the episodes are under 5 minutes long, so you can really marathon it easily. And obviously the links will be in the description. Still about YouTube, I have been loving Hannah Hoffman's videos. She's an artist, she draws stuff, and she is hilarious. She's got a series going on lately where she will take an artist or a musical. So she dramatically sings those songs and then speeds it up, which makes it completely ridiculous and really funny. And on top of that, she draws those songs. So she's got a few videos about 21 Pilots, which are so funny, especially the sped up music. It's ridiculous. She's got a few about Hamilton as well, so if you're into Hamilton, it is really funny. I love her humour so much, honestly. She's awesome. During February, I have also been enjoying so much Thomas Sender's channel. You know, as I pronounce it, I'm not sure if you're supposed to pronounce it like that. Anyway, you might have known him through Vine. He was a really big Viner, and now that Vine is dead, rest in peace, our dear Thomas Senders, or however you pronounce his name, has migrated to YouTube. And he's got a comedy channel. Everything is really well written because this guy knows how to write shit. He is really good at comedic writing. And to this day, I still don't know what we've done to deserve him. Like, honestly, every time someone mentions his name, that's basically what I say, because he is the most precious human on earth. He's positive, he wants you to be okay, he wants you to feel respected, and he wants you to laugh, and he is so precious, oh god. I'll probably put like my favorite of his videos in the description, because you gotta see this guy. He is, yes. Music, music. I have finally been dragged to the very bottom of the Hamilton pit. Honestly, it was just waiting to happen. I was hearing about it everywhere for a very long time, so I finally downloaded the soundtrack about, 2 weeks ago? I have barely listened to anything else, apart from Divide by Ed Sheeran, which is really good. Back to Hamilton though. If you haven't heard of it, it is a musical about USA founding father Alexander Hamilton, which seems very boring at first. But let me paint you a picture. Rap battles around the US Constitution. Hey, that already seems more interesting. See? Okay. A lot of it is rapped, but they also switch between a lot of different types of music. And it's fascinating. Every lyric is just so interesting and so perfect, and it just sticks to your mind. Honestly, I didn't think I could get emotionally attached to one of the founding fathers of the USA. I'm not really a history person. I find it interesting, but I never remember anything. Maybe school made it boring for me. But this musical, I've listened to all of it, which is about 2 hours and a half, about 5 or 6 times. And I know so much. I know so much about the beginning of the USA and how the Constitution was written and how the revolution worked and who was in whose camp and how I just know everything. I deeply love my son Hamilton and my son Lawrence and my son Lafayette, and I just deeply love every one of these characters, and I care for them and I want them to be fine. Yes, including King George. This guy is hilarious. Also, he seems kind of crazy, and yeah, I would probably I'd probably actually be scared if I met that guy, but he's really funny. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I love Hamilton, listen to Hamilton, obsessed over Hamilton, be my friend, be my Hamilton friend, I need someone, please. During February I went to 2 official YouTube events, and the first one was on the 2nd. It was the open house at the YouTube space, and the second one was on the 15th when they had the LGBT meetup at the same YouTube space. Both of those were awesome, and I met some really interesting people who might actually be watching this video right now, so hi, I'm really glad I met you all. The YouTube Space events are always really cool. Like, they're free, and you meet lots of cool people, and you've got food and booze. So, that's all you need really to have fun. I love going to this YouTube Space event so much, and I hope I get to go to many more in the future. Actually, there are a few that seems really interesting, but you've got to have at least 1,000 subscribers to get there, so hopefully I will reach 1,000 subscribers and I'll be able to go to every one of these cool events. That would be awesome. Anyway, the YouTube Space is a blessing, and I'm so excited I get to hang out there every once in a while because it's so cool, and I keep meeting interesting people over there. In February, I have been working on my drawings a lot, even though I have to admit, most of them are in my school notebook, because I have a ton of notebooks, but I always, somehow, end up drawing in this one. Luckily, my teacher never says anything, because I'd be screwed. I actually drew that in the tube. Can you believe? It's not great, but like, I've been working on my drawings. I'm not saying that I've mastered the drawing, but I'm working on it, and I drew that in the tube, okay? I am impressed. You should be impressed. I like it. I mean, he's got a weird ass haircut though. Have you seen that hair? Other random thing I have been enjoying in February is my hair, because I got a haircut. If you are very new to my channel, I used to have longer hair and it used to be blue. And now it's not anymore. I cut all the blue out, and there is a bit of dye in my hair right now, so it's not exactly my natural colour. This colour is a bit warmer and darker than my normal colour. My plan for the future, if you care, is to let this dye wash out, and then I'll bleach my hair again and try out some pastels, I think. So here you go. I have also been loving doing my eyebrows. So right now, I just did them really quickly just to film this because I wanted cool eyebrows. But I love the filled-in eyebrows look, and I'm really excited I finally tried it out because I just love the looks it gives me, and it also makes me a bit more androgynous, which I really like. I am enjoying it so much. Most days though, I don't actually fill in my eyebrows because it takes me a long time, but I'm trying to get better and get quicker at doing them, which is why they're not really good right now, because I actually did them in under 5 minutes. I mean, it's probably not impressive at all to most of you. Yeah, I'm just really late when it comes to makeup. That's about it, and also I'm almost out of space on my memory card. And also, I filmed for 35 minutes. I usually film for tops, like 20 minutes. 35, this is mental. Why? I'm not very focused today, I think that's the problem. I just keep messing up my sentences and I have to start again. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, so if you have anything to say about the things I mentioned, please tell me. Just for the record, I have a lot of video ideas, but right now I'm going through a sort of mental health crisis. I'll be fine, but I'm not like in the best of mental states, so that's why I'm not really filming or editing. But I'm still putting this one out there, so thanks for watching, I guess. I shall see you very soon, bye! Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. We're so sad.